Let me ask you, is love enough? And the answer is no. The love is not enough. Every time I hear from people struggling in their communication with loved ones, whether it's a family member, mom, dad, daughter, brother, son, or in love relationships or in marriages. But I love him, but I love her. Why is it they don't understand me? Why is it we're not talking for such a long time? Why is it we're having fights? Well, because love is not enough. And I will explain myself. And I will teach you today how to communicate using the formula of nonviolent communication. So you can communicate your needs, you can be heard, you can be understood, and you will not create conflicts when you're using this model. And you can actually restore communication with your loved ones. My name is Anastasha Grace. I am a transformational coach, emotional mental well-being practitioner. I work with human trauma, human psyche, unconscious relationships, communication to make our lives better connected, more loving. And there is something I'm using in my daily life as well, and I will share my own example of how I use that to communicate with my partner, and he was super incredibly grateful. So why is it love is not enough? Because relationship is not love. Love is a feeling. Love is something that you have inside of yourself, and it's always there. You can activate love, you can feel love at any single moment. If I asked you right now to think of the most beautiful place that you have been, or that the person, your child, your pet, someone that creates a feeling of love inside of you, and you will tune into it and you will feel love. But love is not relationship. Relationship is two people coming together, and they're absolutely two different people. And more importantly, they are two wounded children coming together into a relationship with a certain baggage and with traumas and woundings that none of us can escape when we go through childhood. The woundings of rejection, abandonment, betrayal, injustice, humiliation, we all experience it while we're growing up, because as humans, we are wired for safety, we are wired for survival. So our brain functions in a way that it registers everything that can be detrimental to our survival. Hence the woundings that happen. So when you are not finding that understanding with your partner or your family member, that's probably what's happening is that clash of basic survival needs. And also what we're dealing with here is the wounded child, not the mature adult. Even if you're looking in front of you and you're seeing a grown-up person, mature adult, and you're thinking that you're speaking to them, who you will be speaking that moment is a wounded child. For example, we had I will share you this nonviolent communication formula of how to express your own needs in the relationship with my partner, who will always take time to speak very openly and give ourselves time to express what is really going on, not just sharing the symptoms. Sharing the symptoms is when, like, this shouldn't be happening, I'm so angry at you, that's just unfair. That's a symptom. That's a symptom of what's some unmet need that is happening inside of me at the moment for my wounded child that has a wounding of, say, abandonment or rejection, right? And that got re-triggered. We had a moment where, say, basically situation. He says, tomorrow I'm going to go away early in the morning and I am going to spend a day with my friend. And my first reaction, or like symptomatic reaction, is like, fine, we had plans, or I wanted to do this. It's a Saturday, I wanted to do that, but you go in your way, fine, that's it. Then it means that, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make plans on Sunday, so I'm out the whole day as well. And off I go into another room. What I do then is I pull out this structure of 4 steps, how to use nonviolent communication, so I can rephrase myself and I can explain what is actually going on for me, so he can understand it. So our communication doesn't end on, the door being closed and my heart is shut. He's completely misunderstood and misunderstanding situation, feeling confused, feeling unloved, feeling hurt and abandoned in his own way. So I coming back and I'm stating it how it's supposed to be through nonviolent communication. First, we state an objective observation. So we observe, darling, I have noticed that you have scheduled a day out with your friend tomorrow. The feeling that the second step, feeling that has been created. And here we actually tune into the feeling, not I'm feeling abandoned, or I'm feeling like you're an asshole. I'm feeling that you always, I can't rely on you. Those are not feelings. Those are assumptions, or those like kind of like, hallucinations, we are actually describing the feeling. The feeling that is created in me was anger and upset and also jealousy. Then step 3, you underline the need that is not met. And in that moment, what need was not met is quality time together. So that's one of my main needs. And if you know 5 love languages, if you know your needs, your love language, and also if you know your needs well, in my blog post that I will put the link after this video, I have listed a number of needs that you can go in and circle to pick the ones that are important to you in the relationship right now or in your life. It's very important to know those essential needs that you require to be met in the relationship. Remember how I said love is not a relationship and love is not enough? That's because we enter a relationship to meet our needs, and needs come from survival. They come from our upbringing. They come from who we are. They stem from that complex psychological structure that we are as human beings. It's a little bit naive to assume that absolutely independent human being that was born in, say, one country, one society, with one upbringing, with a certain set of parents, with a certain set of beliefs, that went through a whole lot of different life experiences. They shaped his reactions, responses, and the way he sees the world. And here he meets, at the age of 20, 30, 40, 50, meets a completely different, independent person who's got his own or her own set of beliefs, woundings, bringing culture and what's not, and they will come together, and because there's love they will magically connect. No, they will not connect. They will have to look for those connections on a daily basis and connect and reconnect and connect and reconnect, because it's like 2 asteroids going through the space, and each has their own bumps. And here we have the sticking out point. There we have a hole here, and then they want to come together and merge beautifully. they would need some adjustments and some helping each other of the connection. So effective communication is that that's soothing, smoothing connective tissue that will bring them together. So knowing your needs that you are looking to meet in the relationship is very, very important, especially for the long term, especially if you're talking about the future and you're planning to be in the future together, and you planning to develop your life together and grow as you go. Exchanging of needs and the communicating them is essential, because if your needs are not met, you're not going to be there for long. No matter how much you love the person, or no matter how much loved you feel, you're not going to be there for far too long. So there is a list of needs that I have created that you can circle in for yourself, and you know for yourself, and you can communicate it. So here I go. My need is for quality time together. So darling, I'm experiencing anger and upset and hurt and jealousy because my need for a quality time together is not met. Step 4 is to make a doable request in a specific time and place, so you can actually find that win-win situation. And my request would be, can you please come earlier? Can you spend the day until the afternoon, not the whole day? And also, can we spend Sunday together doing this something that I like, so my need is met. You know, the response, how amazing the response was. First of all, he said, thank you so much for taking this time, taking for time for awareness, taking time to communicate, to understand yourself, understand me, and communicate it in such a beautiful and powerful way. And yes, of course I will meet your need. Of course I will shorten time with my friend, and of course we will schedule time together on Sunday to spend time, so you can have your need met, because there's nothing gives a man more pleasure than to meet a need of his woman. When this need is communicated in a way that doesn't hurt his inner child, doesn't hurt his ego, doesn't hurt his safety and his sense of self and wholeness, and his sense of his ego, like his sense of self-worth. Because if I'm snapping and angry and I am going like, oh, fine, if you're choosing to do this, I'm choosing to do that, and I'm giving ultimatums, and I'm not communicating properly, or I get agitated, out of my happy state, out of my blissful, joyful state, that gives him unsafety, uncertainty. His child gets re-triggered. It's like, oh my God, she's abandoned me right now. We are disconnected. What is going on? There's something I have done wrong. And he goes into freeze response. So this is one tool that I wanted to share with you. Please do feel free to ask questions. I'm more than happy to share more information with you. I will be running relationship programs very soon. I have also launched my one-on-one program, which is a very powerful program to release those wounds of rejection, abandonment, injustice, humiliation, and betrayal, so they do not re-trigger us so much, and our relationships can actually become more beautiful, healthy, calmer, and we can start healing each other rather than keep re-triggering ourselves. And please do remember that when you sometimes when you speak into your partner, you think you're speaking to an adult person right there in front of you, like you kind of expect them to behave in reasonable manner, Men are, and if they're not acting unreasonable, or they're not acting reasonable, that's because their inner child's being triggered or re-triggered, they're wounding, so their needs are not met and they're not feeling safe at the moment. So it's Anastasha Grace here. Thanks for watching. Love you very much. All the best.